All right, so I'm gonna have to pay attention a little bit on this climb coming up. So I'm just gonna do all my talking right now while it's still kind of flat. So TFT, unfortunately, I have missed most of these. This is only my second one, and it's gonna be tough. I'm in the A's, and it's essentially a climbing race because it's points, but there's one sprint and one climb. But whoever is the fastest on that climb is going to win. So I don't have enough points to do anything. So I'm just going to see if I can hang, which I know I can't. We got like Corby, Josh, Spangler, who else? Ryan Fogarty, a bunch of super strong climbers. So just going to see how long I can hang with these guys. So the first lap is neutral, so we're just cruising, and then it's on. So let's see how this goes.
All right, so I'm just going to speed up this first lap because it wasn't even part of the race. But just to talk a little bit more about this course, as you can see, we are going uphill right now, but the actual KOM hasn't started. So there's a sprint, and then right after the sprint, we start climbing. Even though it's not the actual climb, it doesn't really matter because the climbers are going to have an advantage right from the get-go. So I'm just going to have to give it as much as I can and just try to stay with those guys, and then give it even more of a punch once we hit the actual climb. And then honestly, whoever comes over the top of that climb, it's just downhill to the finish line. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see how it plays out.
All right, the race is about to start, so it's just 10 miles. I'm still just trying to decide if I want to go for the sprint or not, but just got to save legs for that climb, so I'll give it a half go.
Okay, so for this first flat section of the race, there wasn't too much action. John Dalton, just the monster diesel, went off the front a couple of times. But as we were coming into the sprint, there was 6 guys off the front a little bit. But as soon as you hit those sprints, everybody's just full gas, and it usually comes back together. So I was hoping that that would be the case. So we're going to hit this sprint. I decided that I was actually going to give it a decent go. But I had a feather power up, so I didn't want to use that here because I really needed to save it for the climb.
Perfect. I did it good, but I didn't completely take myself. I'll recover a bit. There goes Corby.
Okay, so here is that like pre-climb. So we start climbing before the actual climb hits, and Corby attacked, which, you know, it was super early, but I know how much power Corby has, so I was a little bit nervous that this wasn't going to come back together. But then, you know, in my head, I'm going, no, there's no way they can hold us off for that long. We've got a big group. And then the next thing you know, there was only 8 of us chasing 4. And they had some of the strongest guys up there. They had Brian Nordgren, Joshua Bradley, Corby, and then I apologize, I don't know who the 4th guy was. But I started realizing that this could be slipping away. And by the time we got to the actual climb, they had 11 seconds on us. So I was just going to have to give it everything I could and see what we could do.
We're almost to the climb.
Okay, so now we are officially on the climb, and my heart rate's already at 165, which, if you know me, if I hit over 170, I am fully gassed. So the pre-climb to the climb was already super hard. Luckily, I was actually feeling pretty good right here. I mean, I know my heart rate's high, but I still had some in the tank. So we're gonna give it a go and see if we can close down this gap. As we get close to the top here, you can see right next to my head are the like groups and the gaps between the people. So there's 3 of us, and if you look, the 3 main front guys still have a 24-second gap on us. So not only did we not catch them, they actually opened up that gap even more. And I mean, we started catching this C Port, which I don't really know him, but by the time we got to the top, those guys were long gone. So it was kind of just going to be a battle for, I was still hoping that we could catch Seaport. Ryan Fogarty right here is just in front of me. And then Eric Alder is right behind me. I was hoping we could kind of come together and us 3 chase. So I did give it my all to try and pull. I finally caught Ryan, and then I was hoping that I could catch Seaport, but he just had too much of a gap. He followed that early lead perfectly, and we were never able to catch up to him. All right, so right here we've got 1.7K to go, 1 mile. Basically exactly, and I looked and I saw that Seaport had 10 seconds on us. He was still pushing pretty hard, but said, you know what, I'm going to give this one more go. I'm going to see if we can close down this gap. So I told Fogarty, let me pull. So I hopped out in front and I gave it one last effort. Here, see if we can close it down. I can say I definitely gave it my all, but I think it was just a little bit too late. I wish that right when I caught Fogarty, I would have said, let's go, and then maybe we would have had a chance. We did bring it within 8 seconds, but it just wasn't enough. So that was the finish line. I was able to come across in 6th place, which I'm actually not too upset about. I'm not the greatest climber in the world, but I was able to finish in 6th place, and I was actually pretty happy with that result. So let's dive into the Zwift power results and see what everybody else got. Okay, so these are like the unofficial results because this was actually a points race, and I believe this is still just showing like the overall, like how everybody finished. But this is still pretty fun to look at. So if you look here, Brian Nordgren ended up getting the W, and after chatting with the guys after the race, it sounds like when he rolled up over the top of the climb, he attacked and was able to hold those guys off, which is extremely impressive. He did 4.7 for 20 minutes, which was the highest out of anybody in the race. 5.4 for 5 minutes, super impressive. To hold off Josh and KVV, who were probably working together, is very impressive. This is Charlton Port, who Ryan and I were trying to catch. And then I ended up in 6th place, as you saw. So in the A's, I mean, I ended up mid-pack, typical for me. Super, super happy, though. I ended up doing 4.1 for 20 minutes. It's been a while since I did 4.1 for 20 minutes. So feeling pretty good about that. Let's go down and look at the B's really quick. So Daniel Good, Mark Smith, and then we got Aaron Sauter. He's the first Meadwell A. So finished 3rd place. I believe this is his first TFT. So good for him. Ted Murphy, we got Andy, Mitch, Zach. Zach won last week. He texted me after. It sounds like it was the climb just kind of took it out of him. So we're going to be climbing here, practice climbing. Go down into the C's. Greg got 2nd. Adam got 3rd. That's awesome. Overall, just some Craig bumped up into the C's this week and got 12th. That's pretty good. So overall, just an awesome race. This series is great. I'm hoping next year I can join for all of them. We got 2 more races. I'll do some recaps of the next 2, and we'll see how it goes.